How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and I just wanted to do a bit of a breakdown video today of I got a win in the end, and I managed to unlock Profit, which you have to get a win and have 3 perks active. I managed to win without killing anybody. I did actually kill someone a little bit earlier in the game, but I wasn't clickbaiting or anything. The reason I didn't put it in the title because it's hard to explain that, and it doesn't make any difference to the game. I did win without having to kill anyone, and I can show you how I did it, how you could do it if you get into that situation, or that somebody else might do it to you. I'm certainly not showing you to recommend it every time. It won't happen to you very often anyway. I certainly didn't plan for it myself. It was more like a backup plan that I could see was possibly going to happen. So I ended up doing it basically, and I got the win. So first of all, I'll just get you up to speed. I started over here on the turbine side, and there was a helicopter at this helipad. I was in those 2 little buildings there, but the collapse ended up happening over here around Nuketown. The actual white circle went past about this bridge here and under the lighthouse. So, like I say, at the time I was cleaning the buildings out over near the turbines, and I knew I was alright because I had the helicopter there. Someone must have been in the buildings lower down, I reckon, and got dead silence, because I was just running up to the helicopter when someone must have jumped in it, and the collapse was already like right next to us at this point. So I ran over to here, to this point, and then over the water is that boxing gym with the zombies in it. A guy came down the water in a rib, and I shot at him trying to nick his rib, but it didn't happen. But over the water was a boat of my own, so I swam over there. I'm in the collapse at this point, so I'm losing life, but I jumped in the boat and zipped it down here. And by the time I got it was about this bridge, I finally got out the collapse. As soon as I got out, there was somebody shooting at me at the cargo docks and somebody shooting at me from the lighthouse. So in my boat I did a little wiggle around here, and then the video started where I was about here healing while the boat was moving. I ended up coming into this bit, and then I go into this bunker here, and then that's it basically. Most of my gameplay now happens on Nuketown, but I'm in the tunnels underneath Nuketown. So, I haven't even got a backpack at this point, because all this stuff's happened. When that guy nicked the helicopter, it kind of put me on the back foot a bit, so I haven't really been playing too aggressively. I've came into these tunnels to try and get a backpack, just get some equipment. I've seen that backpack on the floor, that means someone's died. Luckily, I actually do find a backpack, just in time too, because I get some clusters. So, yeah, like I say, we're already, there's only like 24 people left in the game. I haven't killed anyone yet. By chance, I finally come across an assault rifle, because I've still only got the MX-9, and I'm not too keen on them. If people have got armour especially, they just don't have enough stopping power. I just get that equipped, and someone walks in. I didn't even really hear them, so I'm assuming they had dead silence on. So I got a little bit lucky on that. Like I say, that's the one kill I get in this entire game, and it has no direct bearing on the end. I end up getting these ocular peripheral things off them. You can see them in the bottom middle of my inventory. I'll show you them more in a sec. So obviously I'm adjusting my game plan again now. Like, I had to adjust it when the helicopter got stolen. Now I've seen that. I played a previous game to this where I actually got 10 kills and I came second, and I had those ocular periphery things, so I know that I need 3 perks active, and I have to achieve victory. You actually have to come first to unlock Profit. So anyway, now I've got them. I'm clearing out the rest of the down, like under the bunkers under Nuketown. That's the the ocular prosthetic, not peripheral. Yeah, you have to have 3 perks active, achieve victory, and have it in your inventory at the end. So now I've got that. I've got a backpack. I've finally got all kitted up. There's only about 17 people left. I finish off clearing the rest of the bunkers out. I obviously don't know if more people have came in behind me, because that person did just back there. So anyway, I come over to this corner. I've now cleared the bunkers. I just want to chill for a second, have a look at the map. I can see like everything's going to go down at Nuketown. And so yeah, just have a little check of the map. I sit here for a second because that supply drop plane's coming overhead, and I can't hear footsteps very well, so I didn't want to be moving myself really. I know at this point I have 3 perks, so I knew I had what I needed, but then when I look at them, 2 of them are paranoia, so I was suddenly like, shit, I need another perk, because if I activate both of them, they'll just add into one, and it'll just be 2 perks active. So right now I've got to go up the ladder and get looking for some more perks, and basically, long story short, capture gallery cut it out a little bit, but as I was coming up to this last house, somebody shot at me as I was running in there, so that's why I'm healing. Luckily, while I was in it, I found 2 perks, and one of them is consumer, and that's going to become very important later on. I'll explain why in a little bit, but don't underestimate consumer, because I normally skip it for others, but it saved me on this one. So anyway, I come out of the house, you'll hear the guy's still obviously aiming at me and shooting at me. I don't know where he is now, so I'm a little bit flustered at this point. I've got a shotgun, he's got something like an ABR, something burst fire, so I don't want to get caught out at the long distance. So I come back down the ladder, get into my corner again. I'm playing it a lot more cautious now that I've got these ocular, whatever the fuck they're called. But yeah, I've came back down here. I'm now checking what perks I've got. I've added paranoia because I've got 2 of them. But again, I'm just kind of settling down. I want to look, right now I'm looking how long the perks actually last, because I don't want to activate them too early and then run out of one before the end game. So yeah, like I say, I mean, I've only just now picked the perks up, so the whole time this game has been going on, I've been getting equipment, getting out of the collapse zone. I've just gone and got them perks, so I've not been avoiding gameplay, I've just been on my own little missions, and it's, like I say, there's what now, 6 people left. I've only killed 1 person, but I've been kind of busy the whole time I've been playing the game. So right now, like I say, I'm playing it a little bit cautious. When I came back in the tunnel, I could hear gunfire that I actually thought was further up the tunnels. That's why right now I'm kind of checking the ladder shaft and that left hand side, otherwise I'd just be hard scoping the ladder, I suppose. Right now, like I say, that supply drop plane was coming over again, and I just want to listen out what's going on. Now I can see from the collapse, you can still see that the bunker that I came in from, people could still get into, so I'm fairly sure at this point that there is at least one other person in the tunnels. It seems like it'd be the clever play to do, because there's obviously more action going on at the top. But anyway, the reason why this consumer and stuff will become important, and like I say, I didn't plan for this or anything, I wanted to get the kill to win, but I was also playing cautiously at this point. I didn't want to run around like Rambo, because obviously to activate 4 perks, or 3 perks at least, you need 5, 10, 15 seconds to yourself to actually select them, press square and activate them, so I don't want to be at the top in the heat of battle in the last, say, 2 or 3 people. That's why I basically stay down here, because I need that little break to activate those 3 perks. I'm still fairly sure there is somebody in the tunnels as well that would basically followed me in. So right now I'm just waiting for the collapse to finish, because I need to know if I need to move, and if I do, where I need to move. So right now there isn't any gain to me going back down the tunnels or up that ladder. So right now I've just got to wait it out, really. So now the next collapse happened. I've got pretty lucky really, because I can stay where I am, I don't have to go anywhere. So at the minute, again, there's no point, I don't need to be overly aggressive, because I need to be somewhere peaceful to activate these perks, and yeah, like, I'd like to win profit if I can, so I don't need to run around like Rambo and get 10 kills. I will actually upload the gameplay tomorrow, I reckon, because I think it was the game previous to this, I had the same things, and like I say, I got 10 kills, and I did run around very aggressively, and I just fluffed it at the end. I got a bit bad with my aim, on about 1 shot away from winning it. But anyway, now I can see from the map that the collapse circle is going to chase people into the tunnels if they are. You can see where the horseshoe bit of the beach is. I went in that first bunker. The tunnel is now going to push people in, so I'm not very clued up with these tunnels. I don't know how many entrances in and out of them there is. The only one I know is I just came in one end and I've now reached the other end. So again, I'm fairly sure at this point that there is people actually heading in. I've looked in my inventory at this point. It's only around now that I've started to and ah that this is a possibility, that somebody's going to end in the tunnels and someone's going to end at the top. I just checked my inventory again, and what I've got is 2 lots of 5 of those red health packs that add 50 each. And like I say, I've also got consumer, and what consumer does is allow you to use things quicker, such as health. Now, I'm not planning on this to happen, but I'm aware that either me or somebody else could be in the tunnels, and then somebody else is going to be at the top. if that happens when the final collapse happens, we're not going to necessarily be able to shoot each other. So you can see here the next collapse has now happened, and I know I have to move a bit. I was heading down here because I'm convinced there's someone down here in the tunnels, but then I head back because what I didn't want to do is now have someone jumping down this ladder behind me when I'm heading into the tunnels to kill someone else. So all I wanted to do was just wait here until the timer counts down, and I wanted the collapse to chase me down that shaft I just started walking down, because then I know nobody's behind me. I'm checking my perks again. I'm getting to that point really where I'm going to have to activate them, because I'm fairly convinced at this point now that someone's going to jump down this ladder at any second. And I also got a feeling that, like I say, there is somebody down in these tunnels. So I'm just waiting for this collapse to chase me down there. I'm still waiting for someone to jump down. I think at this point is where, yeah, I'm just like, fuck it, activate the perks. I know all these perks actually last quite long. I think they're 240 seconds and 300 seconds, so I know 4 to 5 minutes should actually be enough. If you look at the size of the circle now, it's things are only going to last another minute or two. So we're about at the point now where the collapse is going to chase me down the tunnels. So this is where the collapse starts happening, so you can hear their footsteps at the top. So I was listening to that at the time. I thought he might jump down the ladder. I know at this point he probably isn't going to, because it kills you quite quickly at the end in the collapse. So I know I'm good behind me now. So I start heading down here, like I'm crouched down and I'm going slow. I genuinely think someone's down here. I've not just camped it out down here or anything. You'll see in a minute as well that I really didn't think. If I thought I was the only one down here now, I'd be running around like a madman, just, you know, fucking around. But I'm checking it out. What I actually thought is there was one person down here, one person at the top, and then me. So I was thinking whichever way I go, somebody's going to end up being above or below the other one. So I've just checked this place now, nobody's here. So I'm now thinking, shit, both of those guys are at top. Well, one of them actually kills himself in a second, so he won't be too impressed with that. I start heading this way because I was actually going to go up the ladder, but you can see the collapse has already come too far down the tunnel and I won't have time to make it. So now the backup plan, the contingency plan I was thinking of, is now going to have to come into fruition. So I've got consumer, which means I can use my health really quickly. I've got my health on the red medipack things. That's the biggest one I've got. The number 3 guy has just killed himself, so it's between me and some other guys obviously at the top. So I get as close to the centre as I can, and as soon as I'm in the collapse I start using health, and you can see how quick the bar goes up, how quick it uses them. You can hear the guy at the top panicking, and you can see I get to about 25 health now, and that last one boosts me up to the top and I win, and that's how I won without killing anybody. And like I say, it's not cheating. I certainly don't consider it cheating, mainly because it's not that often you're going to get in a situation where the collapse is happening and there's someone above and below you in different levels of ground. I also didn't plan for it. You see near the end I did try and run back to the ladder, but by then there wasn't enough room to actually do anything. So yeah, it was more of a backup plan with consumer. Like I say, this might happen to you. Not just that, but somebody else might do it to you. About a week ago I actually had a game where somebody did it to me. The collapse ended up in array and somebody was on the roof of it, and me and one other guy ended up being inside the building, and we had no way of killing the guy up on the roof, and I ended up coming third in that game because I died in the collapse. The guy, I think, that was down on the ground floor with me, he came second and he died from the collapse. And well, I'm not sure, to be honest. There was a guy who was on the microphone when the game ended saying what the hell happened, and I said as well, I don't actually know. I think we all died from the collapse, but I don't know who won. So anyway, somebody could do it to you. That's how I won without killing anyone at the end. I ended up unlocking profit, which I was pretty happy about. As I said, it wasn't intentional, it was just I could see it was possibly going to happen. And yeah, I wanted to show you guys that it's a bit of an unusual win. I don't feel cheap for doing it in any way. Personally, like I say, I didn't intend to do it, but also, it's Blackout, you get the tools you get and you win any way you can, and I had consumer, I had the meta packs to out-health that guy at the end, so I did what I needed to do. I got the win and unlocked profit, so that's one more in the bag. I've got 8 specialists now. When I get all 10 I'll do a video, but I'd like to actually give you sort of footage of doing it, not just some random background play. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope this helps some of you guys out, and I'll be back soon. Thanks a lot.